It would be tough to find a more coveted neighborhood in the Triangle than Heritage in Wake Forest. Between its top-notch amenities, amazing schools, more affordable housing, and an incredible community, Heritage truly has it all. This video will take a deep dive into Heritage to look at the different areas of the massive neighborhood and what each provides, its incredible amenities and schools, and at the end, I'll give you one of the major downsides I see about living in Heritage. Heritage is located on the eastern side of Wake Forest and is approximately 30 minutes from downtown Raleigh. It's in a very ideal location within Wake Forest as there are multiple shopping centers, the Heritage schools themselves, and more located around and within the neighborhood. Heritage is a massive neighborhood as a whole, covering over 2,200 acres in size and consisting of over 2,600 single-family homes. It began construction in the year of 2000 and completed most of its construction by 2012. However, there have been some portions that have been completed in the past 5 years. There are quite a few sections of the neighborhood that were built during different times as well, and in general come with slightly different looks and mostly differences in size and floor plan. Let's start off with the northern areas and work our way down. Heritage North has quite a few different sections to it, but the homes are mainly in the $750,000 to $950,000 range, with anywhere from 2,700 to 3,500 square feet on average, and yard sizes between 1/4 of an acre to 1/3 of an acre size lots as well. These homes were built between 2008 and 2012 in general, so most will be somewhat updated depending on your style, as this design era involved many of the earth tones and variations of brown both on the interior and exterior of the house. On the eastern side of Heritage Hills Way, there are homes in the $400,000 to $600,000 range that are built closer together in more of a townhome style with around 1,500 to 2,500 square feet and lot sizes generally around 1/5 of an acre or less. On the left side of the main Heritage Lake Road is another section of homes that range from $500,000 to $750,000 with between 2,500 and 3,300 square feet on average. The lot sizes are close to 1/4 of an acre in size, but this section does have direct access to the Dunn Creek Greenway running behind it. And on the southern side of it, there are more expensive homes that back up to the golf course that are roughly $900,000 to $1.25 million with between 3,000 up to 5,000 square feet. And there are a handful of larger lot sizes up to nearly 1/2 an acre as well. Lastly, on the north side, there is a section of townhomes on the west side of Heritage Lake Road that average between $400,000 to $550,000 and have square footages in the mid-2000s. This section of Heritage is really great as you are very close to Highway 98 as well as the large Gateway Common Shopping Center, and you can avoid the Rogers Road traffic in many cases. And the trees have really grown back in, allowing for privacy and very pretty tree-lined streets. Now let's move into the core of Heritage, where the entirety of the golf course resides along with the clubhouse and the restaurant. This area has the oldest homes built in the early 2000s, so while the houses are relatively older than other parts of Heritage, it also has the most mature vegetation and it's very pretty. It's also perfect for those who enjoy golf, as you'll see many people on their own golf carts and riding into the club. The homes in this section of the neighborhood are truly a mixed bag. There are a couple different sections of townhomes. One that has larger townhomes in the $700,000 range with around 3,000 square feet on average, and another further into the neighborhood that has prices between $350,000 to $550,000 and roughly 1,500 to 2,300 square feet in size, as well as another set in that same price range off Heritage Links Drive. Beyond the townhomes, the vast majority of the homes will be in the $600,000 to $900,000 range with between 2,500 and 3,500 square feet and typically have 1/3 of an acre lot size. Many of these homes back up to the golf course, which can inflate the prices a little bit over the typical price per square foot average of the neighborhood. This area does have the most expensive homes in all of Heritage, with the largest along Colonial Club Road, where there are homes between $1 million to $1.5 million with between 4,000 to 5,500 square feet in size, and the lot sizes are typically at least 1/2 an acre with many even larger. There's also more expensive homes along Overlook Ridge that also mostly look over the golf course and range in price from $900,000 to $1.25 million with between 3,000 to 4,500 square feet. These homes generally have lot sizes of around 1/3 of an acre. On the left side of Heritage Lake Road is another subset of houses that are right next to the First Heritage Community Pool. These homes are in the $400,000 to $550,000 price range with between 2,000 and 3,000 square feet and are also roughly 4 1/4 of an acre properties. In the heart of Heritage, you really can't go wrong in this section, as it has a great location where you can easily get to the pools, the golf club, and the major shopping centers of Heritage. The only downside is the homes are 20 to 25 years old now and have reached the point in their life where many major systems and roofs will require replacement. So it's important to be conscious of that when you're choosing a home. The southern section of Heritage is represented generally by the homes south of Rogers Road and are lucky to have two really amazing amenities in the second Heritage pool, as well as the Forgotten Pond. More on these in a bit. These homes were built generally between 2006 and 2012, so there's a slight mixture of age, but they stick to the neighborhood average with prices around $600,000 to $900,000 with between 2,500 and 4,000 square feet. These homes typically have 1/4 of an acre to 1/3 of an acre size lots as well. There's also a section of townhomes and ranch-style single-family homes that share driveways on the west side of the pool in the range of $300,000 to $400,000 with between 1,200 and 2,000 square feet. This section of Heritage will feel very similar to Heritage North, as they were built around the same time, with vegetation now grown in to provide privacy. And they have direct access to the Sanford Creek Greenway as well. Do note that some of the homes on the southern portion of this area are not districted to all Heritage schools through high school. So if that matters to you, make sure you pay attention to that. The last section of Heritage is technically in the suburb of Roseville and also has the benefit of Greenway access, as well as one of the largest neighborhood playgrounds I've ever seen. These are the newest homes completed in Heritage, as they were built in the 2013 to 2015 timeframe. And they also range in the price of $600,000 all the way up to $900,000 and have between 2,000 to 3,500 square feet. The lot sizes here are typically 1/4 of an acre in size. This is a great section of Heritage in that it's newer and has access to the large playground. However, the schools for this area are districted to Roseville schools versus the coveted Heritage schools. If you want to tour homes in any of these areas or learn more in general, please don't hesitate to reach out, as our team would love to help you. Now let's briefly talk about the Homeowners Association here before we get into the schools and amenities. The HOA dues for each property owner is only around $300 per year, which is an absolute steal in my opinion for all the amenities that you get with the parks and the common areas. The pools and golf club memberships are more, and we'll touch on that in a moment. As you can imagine, the HOA is fairly restrictive in what they allow, but I wouldn't say that it's anything over the top in comparison to most neighborhoods built in the last 20 years. It also has historically not been over-policed, such that you don't feel like you will still get a nastygram in the mail if you leave your trash cans on the side of your house one time. If you do back up to the golf course though, expect more restrictions for fencing, playgrounds, and more, as there is an effort to maintain the aesthetics of the golf course as much as possible. For schools, the vast majority of homes in Heritage are districted to Heritage Elementary, Middle, and High School. These three schools are known to be amongst the most coveted in Wake County, as they have a good educational track record, do a great job catering to a variety of student needs, and regularly have excellent sports teams. Now, the one thing you need to watch out for currently, Heritage High School is capped, meaning that if you first move into the neighborhood and have a high school age student, they will likely be assigned to an overflow school like Roseville High School. Likewise, even if you lived in the neighborhood, if you did not send your children to at least 8th grade at Heritage Middle School, you will also very likely be assigned to the overflow school. So as long as you live in Heritage and send your children to at least 8th grade at Heritage Middle School, there should be room accounted for you at the high school. Also, do note that Heritage Elementary and Middle Schools operate on a year-round calendar. While it's honestly a mixed bag on where families send their children to elementary school, given all of the charter and private schools in Wake Forest, you will find that middle and high school age students have an excellent community of neighbors who go to school with them. So it makes for a fun experience for older kids. All right, let's finish up with the amenities before giving the one negative aspect of Heritage along with my final thoughts. I don't think you can beat Heritage amenities unless you compare it to, say, Prestonwood, Hazentree, and 12 Oaks, but even so, what you get for the price is amazing. First off, what comes with Heritage's basic HOA dues are multiple playgrounds for the kids, one being a massive space where many host birthday parties, and the Forgotten Pond that has a fountain, a dock, and a paved walking trail around it. The community also puts on events multiple times a year. As mentioned, there are multiple greenways surrounding the neighborhood, and the neighborhood is beautifully maintained, so even walking on the sidewalks is enjoyable. And while it's not part of the neighborhood itself, being right next to the Smith Creek Soccer Park where many youth soccer practices are held is very convenient. And as mentioned before, there are multiple shopping centers all within a minute drive of each area, so you have everything that you need just within a 5-minute drive. For an extra fee, you will get access to both pools, 2 tennis courts, and a fitness club. The fees involve a $1,000 initiation fee, and for a family, it's $102 a month. The pool off of Heritage Lake Road has a slide, a tanning deck, a full-service grill and snack bar, and it has its own swim team. The pool located in the southern part of Heritage has a lazy river, a water dome with 0 entry for the kids, a snack bar, and a ping pong area. You can play tennis anytime, and there are private lessons available as well. Additionally, there is a small workout studio with classes, and all members get access to the Real Fit gym in the factory that's minutes away. The golf course is an 18-hole semi-private course, so you do not have to be a member to play. Right now, it costs $59 during the week and $82 during the weekend and holidays to play. And renting a cart is an additional fee if needed. If you play multiple times a week, you may want to consider a membership, and I would suggest that you call for membership fees as they change. There's also a driving range and putting green for practice, and the on-site restaurant is a great place to relax and hang out regardless of if you golf or not. There are so many great things that Heritage has going for it, but there is a negative, and it is impactful for some, and that's the traffic. Rogers Road especially, and parts of Heritage Lake Road get very crowded at times. All 3 Heritage schools are right around the Rogers and Heritage Lake intersection, and the major shopping centers also bring in traffic. Also, if you work in downtown Raleigh, there's not many alternative routes to take to get into downtown other than Capitol Boulevard and or Highway 401, which are no fun to drive on, especially during rush hour. And I would not recommend it if you work in the Research Triangle Park, as you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour each way. So my final thoughts: despite the rush hour and the school traffic, Heritage is one of the most popular neighborhoods in all of the Triangle. In addition to the great schools, the amenities, and the relatively affordable housing, the community has a really great feel in Heritage for both adults and especially kids. If you want to learn more about Wake Forest as a whole, check out our video on the pros and cons of Wake Forest, or take a look at the top developments coming soon to Wake Forest. Thank you for watching.